Hello and welcome to the 5-Minute Film Club. And of course, you've probably realised that last week I missed my deadline, which can only mean one thing. It's time for another
bonus review.
And as a punishment to me, I will now review a film that I absolutely hate. A film that I originally saw in the cinema back in 2008. It is, of course, Aliens vs Predator Requiem. This is a film that has no redeeming features, has absolutely nothing going for it. It is the epitome of a bad film. Sorry, bit abrupt. I've got a list of points to help me keep on track of things, not get too carried away. Okay, let's step into the world of Aliens vs Predator Requiem. Definitely not AVPR, which they seem to think that we all should be calling this monstrosity. Sorry. Point number 1, cinematography. This is... hang on a minute. Okay, so the cinematography of this film is basically non-existent. It's done by Dan Pearl, Daniel C. Pearl, who's done a ton of music videos and actually was the cinematographer for the original and the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But listen here, Dan, you've got a hell of a lot more money now to play with, and we still can't see anything. This film never ever gets into full brightness. Every shot, even if the scene is happening at 12 o'clock midday, is in a kind of haze of contrast. I mean, let's just pick a few examples. What about this scene? Oh yeah, or maybe this one. Or indeed, what about that tender moment of dialogue near the end? It feels like you're watching it on a computer screen that just dims and you're just constantly shaking the mouse, attempting to get the screen to full brightness. Okay, point number 2. It's paint-by-numbers plot. So the story takes place directly after Alien vs Predator, with the Predator on board its ship and suddenly a chestburster coming out and revealing that it is an alien and Predator hybrid, a Predalien we'll call it. Suddenly all chaos breaks loose and the ship crash lands in present-day Earth. We have a quick succession of stalk and slash moments where the facehuggers are roaming about the streets and jumping onto bewildered people. We have no vested interest in these characters, we don't know their names, we don't even have a hint of a backstory, and so we really don't care about their demise. Now I'm actually quite a big fan of the 1980s slasher genre. You know, I like Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street, and really you don't care about the people who live or die in those films. But what those films have going for them is kind of a gross out campy humour, and watching these ridiculous outlandish death sequences is slightly enjoyable. They don't know the market for this film. They don't know really whether to push it overboard and go for a full out 18 gross out horror film, or whether just to pander to the 13-year-olds that have snuck in at the back and are giggling over their popcorn. Point number 3, no strong lead. Both the Alien and the Predator films have strong characters, whereas the Alien franchise certainly has the upper hand in the depth department. The original Predator film certainly has some interesting points. Yeah, it's a film about nature versus man, survival skills. It's Rambo, but with an alien. But in this film, there are so many kind of lead characters. There's no one person that we stick with the entire way through the film and can really root for. Plus, also the chemistry and the character development is at sub-zero. I mean, the characters here, they are so uninteresting. It is stick to the list. Stick to the list. You know what? Sod the list. There is nothing good I can say about this film. It is absolutely no redeeming features. It is nothing. And that not only makes it loathsome, it also makes it annoying. While watching it, I knew that I was absolutely hating it. When I originally saw it in the cinema, I knew I was absolutely hating it. But because it has no substance whatsoever, it is so difficult to get a handle on the thing to choke it, which doesn't allow you to properly really hate it. It doesn't have one standout moment where you're like, oh God, that is awful. The whole thing is just terrible. It is nothing. This film is so easily forgettable that the second you come out of it, the only overriding thing in your head is the fact that you've just wasted an hour and 28 minutes of your life. Even the font that they use for the titles are amazingly irritating. It's like somebody who's just got hold of Photoshop and decided it was a good idea to meld font type for Aliens and for Predator. And nobody said no. Nobody said that that was a terrible idea. It is an absolute sin of graphic design. I'm surprised that people who actually own this film on DVD, I'm sure there must be one or two, see anything actually when they point to their DVD collection. Just looking at my DVD collection, looking for my DVD...
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Hello, thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe and to leave a comment down below if you completely disagree with me, or if you agree with me, give me a thumbs up.